So that was a quick inauguration, and as we continue, we were one segment behind the schedule, so we'll continue from where we started. Indian science has come to be regarded as one of the most powerful instruments of growth and development, especially in the emerging scenario and competitive economy. In the wake of recent development and the new demand that are being placed on the science and technology system, it is necessary to embark on some major science projects which have relevance to the nation need and which will also be relevant for tomorrow's technology. The Department of Science and Technology plays a pivotal role in promoting science and technology in the country. The department has wide-ranging activities from promoting high and basic research and development of cutting-edge technology on one hand to service the technological requirement of the common man through development of appropriate skills and technologies on the other. In its mission statement, talks are about creating enabling environment for development and utilization of new innovations and enhancing innovations through its resource and channelizing benefits thereof people. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have the huge round of applause for Mr. Y.S. Chaudhary, Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology and Earth Science, Government of India. Sir, can we have you on the stage, please, for your special address? A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
हम एक दिन में 12 घंटा चलता हूँ। इसके अंदर सही काउंटर है सर, इसके अंदर यही है जो शरीर में थोड़ा रेस्ट है।
Respected guest of honor Sri Govind Bhai Patel, Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology and Energy and Petrochemicals, Government of Gujarat. Respected guest of honor Sri Chris Alexander, Honorable Minister for Citizenship and Immigration, Canada. Mr. Tapan Ray, Additional Secretary, Department of Electronics and IT, Government of India. Mr. Haridhar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat. Other distinguished guests on dais. And good morning to one and all, for all the accomplished and leaders of the science and technology. I am immensely happy to be here today among this wonderful gathering of many scholars. As a matter of fact, I am fortunate to be the member of Sri Narendra Modi ji's cabinet and happy to be in charge Minister for Science and Technology, which is really very close to my heart. As we all aware that science and technology absolutely has no religion or reason, no boundaries. The entire universe will have the same requirement and as well as application. So, coming back to our country, we are also fortunate to have our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, who have really started talking based on our ancient India's value system and scientific methods. He is the first Prime Minister of independent India who spoke from the point of strength about our country on a foreign land, and which has attracted entire global population. Everyone knows that basic maths has been taught by Indians, which was also recognized by great scientist Einstein. Because today the subject is mainly about innovation, I strongly say that ideation, incubation, innovation, commercialization, These are all value chain which we have to address. We have many scientists, many people who publishes many papers, and at experiment level many innovations takes place. But olden days, they never used to have proper connectivity or networking. Today we are all blessed with internet, which has really killed the entire distance and brought all of us into a global village,
और डॉक्टर के पास जाना नहीं पड़ता है,
which helps us to improve upon many subjects. We all learned that there is no need to reinvent the wheel as long as we understand a multiple applications of a wheel. Similarly, we have wonderful technology in front of us. Any small invention which can be improved upon for multiple benefits for mankind. So, innovation, which is very important, at the same time, innovation comes out of ideation and incubation. Post that, particularly from our country point of view, I call it as KM cube is required. K comes out of knowledge or imagination, what it can be done for the benefit of the mankind. Without science and technology improvement, there won't be any development for the man's improvement. But many of our innovations will not take the limelight because of the M cube, which comprises of management, marketing, and money. As long as, while I also would like to stress upon that money is only a means but definitely not an end. So every innovator has to think about how to showcase their product, how to reach the needy people. So many of the innovations, particularly for our country, we have to think keeping in the view of our Hindustan. Basically, still our rural India is untapped by way of either services or by way of consumer durables. In both the areas, we have a lot of space untapped, either for health delivery or proper education. That's one of the example is that many of our youngsters are being educated by way of getting certificate, but there is, of late we are finding a lot of gap between the qualification and their skill what they are adopting. Particularly entrepreneurs can focus on bridging the gap and making them to be employable. So the identification between competence and skill development also is a big challenge in front of us. As we are all aware that we have a great nation which is expected to be, as per the present demographics, expected to throw upon about 10 million youngsters every year to be deployed or to be employed, which we have been talking that's going to be a great demographic dividend, which is going to help our country to get into a superpower category. There is a huge challenge and responsibility in front of us to ensure that each and every youth is properly employed, deployed, otherwise that can really become a dread. So the competitive skills development is also one of the challenge. So in front of us, we have many challenges wherein I would like to say few things, which we have every year wonderful
हम एक दिन में
youth.
12 घंटा चलता हूँ इसके अंदर सही
Then we have untapped women. Many of the Indian women are still can be encouraged, can be motivated to get into further productivity. Farmers, as long as we address farmers' health insurance, life insurance and crop insurance by way of various innovations, as we are all aware that our farmer is the backbone of this country. At the same time, the general health delivery, we know today on an average medical doctor, 90 to 95% it depends on the diagnosis. Clinical interpretation is only 5 to 10%. Thereby, the medical equipment, if we can produce and improve more and more applications, the cost per application goes down. So, from our ministry, we want to identify needs of the people and reorient our focus towards frugal innovations. Vigorous support to startups with adequate funding. So when I say adequate funding, we need innovator, investor, lender, and also innovation council. So to do the hand-holding so that they can really place their products, their innovations to the global market. So there's another area Government of India is definitely thinking about encouraging NGOs and non-profit companies offering common services such as patent registration, etc. So the basic education also we would like to focus upon, wherein many education tools can be invented, and we have, our country has got enough potential to absorb them. Innovation has become an integral part of our cultural fabric actually in these days. As we are all aware that the state where I belong to, Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat, also proven states for the land of entrepreneurs. They must venture into innovation-driven manufacturing activities, set an example to other states in India by way of showing how the current day challenges can be addressed by innovation management. From this point of view, from my ministry, we have started looking at setting up science cities through a zonal system. That way, we will be in a position to create our science and technology footprint in all the 29 states. As we have, our great nation has got multiple cultures, multiple weather, topography, geography, so many benefits are there. So right innovation, right industry at the right place. Through GPS system, we can really today pin it down and then see that can be tracked. So we are also planning to establish a Indian Innovative Center, which will be a member of, all states will be the members of the Innovative Council. So not just Incredible India with reference to the diverse culture heritage, states like AP, Gujarat must showcase Innovative India and take our country forward in a big way. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. And I think just before we conclude the inaugural session, which was very, very fruitful and which was full of action, can I request the management team of GIS to please come on stage, and all those people who have worked really hard to have a photo op with the dignitaries. A round of applause for all these men who have made it possible. Before we start the next technical session, can I request the dignitaries to please and CII, all the management team of this Innovation Summit, can we have the team from CII, KPMG, Department of DST. Guys, can we have a view quickly here for a photo op? Can I request the camera people to position themselves so that we can optimize on everybody's time, please? Mrs. Saxena, we want you here. Mr. Gaurang Shah, please come up on stage. Mr. Sahu, where are you? Mr. Sahu, can we have you on the stage, please? So a round of applause for all these beautiful men and women who have made it possible. They have worked relentlessly to make sure that each one of us have the best experience and the knowledge that we are going to have here.
Wait. One more, please.
So thank you, gentlemen, thank you, dignitaries, thank you, team. And we conclude the inaugural session. A round of applause for all our dignitaries, the ministers, the technocrats, and I'm sure that we'll have a lot of fruitful session today and tomorrow. We are not going for a break just now. We'll start our technical session just as we begin. No, they have to go this side. Said they are getting tired. Yeah. Yes, may I request all the dignitaries to please be seated on the front row, because we don't want you to miss out on the good presentations that we are lined up. So getting innovations to go beyond the aha moment. Can I request everybody to settle down, please? Can I request everybody to settle down as we will begin our next session on innovation for sustainable development and inclusive growth. So we had a great inaugural session. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's get started. We have a very, very exciting set of speakers here. So getting innovations to go beyond the aha moment to something what is viable and replicable is what innovation is at its best and sustainable best. And to bring home the point, we have a lot of speakers who are going to talk about how sustainability and inclusive growth, which most of our speakers spoke about, go hand in hand. Until the last person in the last value chain is not part of this inclusive growth, the innovation will not be complete. Mr. Kenneth Thai is an independent non-executive director of TVS Electronics Limited. He is a co-founder, general partner and chairman of Investa Capital, INC. Mr. Thai is also on the board of several high-tech companies including Avant Corp and Altigen Communications. Since April 1998, Mr. Thai has been serving as a chairman of Digitimes Publication, INC, a Taiwan daily newspaper that reports on electronics and related industries throughout Asia and world. Mr. Thai is one of the co-founders of Acer Group, where he held from 1976 to 1993 various positions including Vice President Sales Marketing Worldwide and then President of Acer Group. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have Mr. Kenneth Thai, Chairman Jasper Display Corp and co-founder Acer on the stage, please. A round of applause for Mr. Thai as he is going to take us through his innovation model.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I try to share what I have done for these 5 years. My career, basically, it's a start from 40 years ago in Taiwan. At that time, we don't have the technology at all. And then we started, enter the ITC business, ICT business. That is where Taiwan is today. So today, I'd like to share with you what I've done in these 5 years. My first career is in the PC industry. My second career is venture capital, running between Taiwan and the Silicon Valley. This is the main area I'm working. This is my third career. I started this business 5 years ago when I was 60 years old. This is what I want to share. It's the opportunities. And we'll mention a little about India and Taiwan and what happens in the world. Who helped me to move this? Yeah.
I'll just get it.
Technology is a universal language in the world. I will try to share with you on what happens in the optics, advanced optics. Also take advantage of what's United Nations activities starting from 2015 as International Year of Light. Oh, this one, okay. International Year of Light, what I explain is in three categories. One is lighting. Lighting before is a discrete device, and right now is moving to new LED systems, but that is not only discrete device. That will involve in the system and a lot of application. For example, if we integrate with art, if integrated with medical treatment, all this. So light is very different. The second is solar. Solar also just starting. People looking at the solar as a solar energy, okay? But starting from solar energy, there's a lot of system and application will give you a very different view. So 20 years after, you will see solar influence is much, much bigger than you can imagine today. My area is coming from the optics and advanced optics or emerging optics. A lot of application will come out. It's a technology platform will cover most of the places you are facing today. Will give you a new view on what the technology can do. You know, optics, because not easy to control. Although it's the earliest things we touched when we was born. But optics, today is a little different messages. I just show a few examples. This is Nobel Prize. People just realize physical is given to optics. But people didn't realize the chemistry reward from Nobel Prize also give to optics. That's never happened before, what I think, yeah. United Nations gives these activities. Every 5 years, they have one topic. So it's not special. But the more important thing is the next one. They're talking about light technology is a major economic driver for 21st century. This will be very interesting when you look at the following slides. And it will similar position as electronic does in the 20th century. That is very, very important. That gives people the messages optics world is coming, and we have to looking into very carefully. This is what U.S. white paper to Obama, to their president. They asked for $300 million funding for promotion. And recently, I read the news that they already got $200 million approved. And they mentioned about the regain U.S. competitiveness. This is a very important message because U.S. thinks they lost in the production to the Far East, so they want to regain that. This is the EU. EU even more focused on. There's an action plan for this one. This is a very thick document, not very thick, but quite thick also. They mention about photonics in the 21st century. They have the 7 years program for EU, but photonics was separated as a 21st century. They're also talking about economic growth depend on optics. Oh, sorry. This mix too, okay. So basically, I'm trying to conduct the messages. People are always looking for the red ocean business today. It's dominated by the consumers. So always price, cost. That gives the technology have some limitations. That sacrifice the imagination that technology can do. So I try to separate from what is dominated by the world is dominated by the consumer product. Separate from that, I remind everyone come back to see what computer does before. When we have the IBM, this is a B2B business. Then you come to the mini computer, you come to the B2B2C, and then come to the B2C business. So that pattern in the computer is already goes through one thing. So today, optics are starting. That give us a lot of, all of us, if you're looking from the optics industry, electro-optics industry, that's give you a thinking of, you can start from B2B. Because once you go to B2C, a lot of things is become the capital-intensive things. Then that's very tough. For the new opportunities, especially like India, I think it's looking from the B2B, then the B2B to C to commercial, then the B2B to C to consumer, and then B2C consumer eventually will happen. So this is a sequence. I just want to remind everyone to looking back that IT, we already go through this one. Then the new electro-optics world will be similar. And once you go this one, I'm using a comparison that you easier to understand. We talk about on-glass business. That means LCD business today is a very big business, but it's a very boring business, very capital intensive. So we put into glass-based array, put into IC-based array. We shrink 1,000 to 10,000 times. So everyone knows that if you have a smaller, if you have a thinner, if you have a shorter and smaller, okay, this is always a trend for the technology try to achieve. So if we can have the technology new technology platform, reduce the size to 1,000 or 10,000, you can imagine what you can do. So this is what I try to give people thinking. And then the mainstream industry, because of the on-glass business, LCD business is so big investment. You know, one fab you can ask for about $10 billion investment. And this emerging, if we're talking about 1 million units production, it's only 30 million factory, you can do it. So it's totally different scale. That gives people more opportunities. Most of people in the Western society, US, Europe, Japan, have no LCD factory now, no new LCD factory now. Only will be in Korea and China. Taiwan also lost in this game. That gives you ideas. So I'm trying to promote is leverage what we have done already, and the US want to using this opportunity, optics, to regain their competitiveness. EU also. If you're aware that it's, the industry is really starting from UK in 19th century. So you can see that happens. So I will challenge most of people here, what you want to do. Optics is opportunity. You want to participate? We give the scale. It's if we combine with the silicon base and the optics, we give you 10,000 times smaller in size. Application-wise, we are not only give the people to using for the human eyes. That is only in the visible side. There's a lot of application is cover the infrared. So we cover telecommunication, we cover storage, we cover bio application, and a lot of new application will come out. So it's just a starting platform. So this is holographics also is a major one. A lot of things we have the theory, not in combined with reality. In optics, there's a lot of opportunity. You can combine what you learn in the mathematics, combine with optics, will make a lot of things different. This is the infrastructures I like to show you guys. And there's one thing called mini fab. Mini fab are still new to you guys, but if you look at it from the mechanical design, you always have a machine shop. It's the same thing. The technology is based on the pixel backplane and pixel processing. It's also a pixel processor, like a digital processor, microprocessor. It's a little similar, but it's much more sophisticated. This is like a machine shop. Then you can cover all different kind of applications to work with a laser on different wavelengths. You can have this technology ready. And in India, I think if you're really interested, build up this fab, and our IC platform from Silicon Valley can support, then there will be totally new opportunity will come out. This technology is 18 years. I pick up the technology on the last part. So if I fail this technology possible, we'll restart it. Then need a long time. So if I'm success, I take advantage of the past 18 years being developed in the Silicon Valley. It's a digital LCOS. What happens in this 10 years also? I give you a rough idea. Size-wise, 10%, density-wise, 10 times. So it's also 100 times improvement. And basically, I think a lot of people know more about MEMS than the LCOS. I think in the science area, there's a lot of application will from MEMS come to the LCOS. In the holographics, HUD, HMD, storage, bio, telecom. The advantage for the technology, if you look at the semiconductor core structures, this 1080 to 8K, 4K. This is a sweet spot for the LCOS technology. This is why this also take advantage of the semiconductor industry. So this is why this technology is beauty. When I was a freshman 40, 50 years ago, my mentor told me that new technology is very important. So make sure you have studied new technology, okay? So electromechanical basically is what we have at that time. And then come to the computer, so hardware and software trade-off is very important if you really want to be a good engineer to define the products, okay? Right now we're talking about photonics and electronics. Be careful the solution before is only electronics, mechanical. If you don't involve optics for the next 20 years, I believe you'll face some difficulties. Especially there's another thing is phase and amplitude. We are using amplitude only today. Very few on phase. Because there's no device support this technology. And liquid crystal is very good is natural for phase. The phase, if I give you an example, for the 3D information, phase represents 70%. We are only targeting on 30% advantages to solve the problems. So if this device is available, you have chance to using 70% of the information. our ear is it's a face device also. It's a face capability also. When there's opera in front of you, there's a music team in front of you. If you want to know which instrument in which direction, that is face. So let me sell for Taiwan a little, okay? Taiwan have very heavy capital investment in this industry. Foundry, I think everyone knows that. Only TSMC invests $10 billion a year continuously, and possible more because of the technology sophistications. LCD, Taiwan invests a lot. LED, Taiwan also have a very big position in the world. Solar, Taiwan also number 2 or number 1. Optics, advanced optics, Taiwan also starting. This is the infrastructure being established in Taiwan. Taiwan is not good at marketing application side, but it's very good to build up the supply chain. So this all are the very big capital intensive investment. This is the infrastructure been 20 years. So the sickness of the supply chain is really there. How to take advantage of that to help your industry to grow. That is very, very important. Okay. And because this investment have created efficient and effective infrastructure through big, small, and the medium companies, it's not easy for move all the company here. So I think it's a gradually step. Take advantage of that infrastructure, and then the bigger company have bigger chance to move here. Then you can continuously back and forth. Then the infrastructure can build in India. I give a little comparison, give you some ideas. Silicon Valley, of course, is the world center on the technology side. But Silicon Valley was taken over by virtual world. So if you look at all the new investment, if you look at the talent move in, are all in the virtual world. In the basic technology side, Silicon Valley, I think, have an issue. I don't know how they solve it. That become the opportunity for Taiwan, because Taiwan have continuous capital investment. So if Taiwan do good, then they will become the world center for the supply chain on the B2, starting from B2B business. So India is weak in the infrastructure, but you have the brain power, you have a young workforce. For next 20 years, how you leverage Taiwan's supply chain infrastructures to help you to start a business. That is my recommendation. This is a trend, okay? If we look at the 19th century, that is a mechanical power system. That's starting from Europe, UK mainly. And then there's an electronic industry, was 20th century. Electronic industry, one beauty thing is because of Moore's law. But people think about Moore's law, just think about the surface. It's every 18 months, you double your density or like that. But more important is the credibility that Moore's law established. So all the people move consistently together. That's why the technology development is so fast. So there's a book told us the world is flat, and now the world is fast. This fast is because of the credibility Moore's law established. This is my explanation about Moore's law. But in optics, we don't have Moore's law. And the United Nations already claimed, and a lot of organizations are supporting this, and a lot of business, government, all support this one. What will happen? We don't need Moore's law in optics development. We don't have, but we don't need. The reason, because the foundation is there. It's already ready. Electronics, mechanical, already have the 1 century, 2 century support. So it's mature. It's not easy to break through. The way to breakthrough is collaboration between more technology. So the key will be electronics, mechanical, optics, but optics need material. So if you combine all this together, collaboration, then you have all different kind of opportunities will happen based on this platform. This is just the message I like to share with you guys, and hopefully you like this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tai. Can I request Mr. Saxena to present our token of appreciation for Mr. Tai? A round of applause for a very good presentation, and he has actually shown us the path ahead. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Saxena. Thank you, sir.